guys, welcome to Gearing Up. Now, chasing tone has been an ongoing process for guitar players since the beginning of guitar playing. We usually default to taking our idol's settings and we dial those in, and then most of the time we're just not happy with how it sounds because we don't have their hands, we don't have their playing style. Most likely we don't exactly have their gear. Now, I do have John Petrucci's guitar and a Mark V head, so I should be able to get fairly close when dialing in those settings, but I tried that. It just didn't happen. And that's because I'm not John Petrucci, and most of the tone, or not most, but a lot of the tone is going to be in your playing style and in your fingers and in your hands. So that's what they mean when they say that the tone is in the hands, is that you can give one person a piece of gear or several pieces of gear and have them play through it, and another person, it's going to sound completely different. So I think, and I'm going to make a case here with this video, that the best way to find a good tone is to start with a tone that works with the gear that you own. Meaning you need to find an amplifier and a guitar that match well together, and then find their settings that also complement each other. So if you've got a dark sounding guitar, you're going to have to go through and adjust the amp a little bit. So if you're looking for a John Petrucci tone and you've got, say, like a Gibson Les Paul, something that's going to be a little meatier, a little darker, you're going to have to adjust. You're not going to be able to use his exact settings. So in this video, I want to kind of show you how I go about setting up an amplifier to match an instrument. Now, I've had a few people ask me what my favorite settings are on the Mark V. Honestly, it changes. It changes every time I switch guitars because every guitar is going to sound different. So here is where I start. This is a process that I go through every time, like even when I buy a new amp, this is the process that I go through to match up instrument to amplifier. Let's check it out. So the idea here is that you're going to start with everything at noon on the amplifier. I know a lot of guys, a lot of old school Marshall guys are going to tell you crank everything all the way up and then subtract from there. I don't like that because it doesn't give you any room to increase. You can only cut stuff out. I like to be able to have full control, so I start everything at noon on the amplifier. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through a series of notes, and it's going to tell us what we need to subtract, what we need to add in. So the first thing we're going to do, and we want to do this on the channel that you're going to use the most, so I'm on the dirty channel here. So where we're going to start is we're going to play an open E and then the B on the D string, so these two notes here. We're going to play them simultaneously though, and we're going to try and listen as closely as we can to see which one we need to make a little more present in the mix there. So we'll play them together real quick here. So I hope this translates well over to YouTube, but in the room, it definitely sounds like it's a little more bass heavy than it is mid heavy. So what we're looking at right now is the bass control and the mid control of the amplifier with these two notes. So it sounds bass heavy. That tells me I need to cut out just a little bit of bass. So I'm just going to cut out a little bit, and I'm actually going to add in a little bit of mid too, just to give that B note a little more presence. So now we have, which to me is a much more manageable tone. So now we got to look at the high end. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the open low E string again, and also the open high E string. And that's going to tell us whether we need to bring down the treble or increase the treble to match what we did to the bass. So let's do that real quick. The treble sounds a little too high for me and a little harsh, so we're going to pull a little bit of that out. About as much to match how much we took out of the bass. So now let's hear that. I'm going to put just a little bit back in. And this is where having control over increasing and decreasing really helps, because we can control what we just did. So now we have, and those sound pretty even to me. Now I do have the graphic EQ engaged on this amplifier. I'll let you hear it without it, and then I'll kick it back in with it. So here's the tone without the EQ engaged. So we can actually hear all the strings of the open E chord very well. But let's kick it back in, and I've just got, this is the one classic thing I'm going to do, is I have the classic V-shape EQ on the graphic EQ for this amplifier because it works. It's just one of those things that's been proven over time. It just works. So let's kick that back in real quick. I've got a lot of gain going on there, and when I play those chords, you can hear every note that I'm playing in those chords, and that's a lot of gain to be able to do that. So this method really works for me, and for this guitar, these are my usual settings. This is where I will stay when I play, because it fits well with the guitar and the amplifier. I hope this was useful. I think it's a really good technique for getting to learn an amplifier. If you like this video, please subscribe, please share. I appreciate any help that I can get. Thank you for watching.